Hi, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at setting some goals for the trimester. So, before we get into it, I just want to preface with I know this is weird, and I understand that it's been a challenging year. And now we're in a scenario where the clocks have changed and our schedules have changed, and some kids are kind of coming back, but they're not really back, but we're still in virtual, and there's a lot going on. And I can understand where it might feel a little overwhelming, but I will try to reiterate this from now until we wrap up the school year. I'm here to help you out. Think of me as a tool to help you reach your goals. And I understand everybody's goal might be different. Some kids might just need to earn credit and they got to move on. Some of you are seniors and you're just trying to wrap up your school year. Some of you have to have an A, some of you shoot for Bs. It's all over the place. And I'm not here to judge what your goals are. I just want you to know whatever they are, I'm here to help you out. All you have to do is ask. And I'll do my best to try to make myself available, but if you feel like you're getting overwhelmed or you need a little bit more assistance or you want some just one-on-one time, I'll be happy to respond to an email or jump on a Google Meet with you or whatever it is you think that would be helpful. So please keep that in the back of your mind. This isn't just me on this end of the computer and you out there in cyberspace and we can't really interact. I don't want you to feel like that. It's weird for me too. It's a lot different than what I'm accustomed to being a teacher here at Crestwood. So once we get a goal set, I want you to also know that it's possible that you might make some mistakes. And that's okay. Mistakes can be made. And I know this is going to blow your mind, but I've made a few mistakes myself as well. Here's the thing. When mistakes are a problem is when you don't stop and learn something from them. If I make a mistake, I try to have a conscious effort of like, all right, how did I get here? What went wrong? What can I do to avoid that in the future? And usually that smooths things out. I'll be honest with you though, sometimes I find myself in a problem again and I got to stop and sort of rehash it. So don't get discouraged if sometimes your first crack at something doesn't go right. Silver lining to all that, a lot of times I've found that when I've failed at something or I've made a mistake or I ended up with a little boo-boo and I had to stop and rethink it, I got more out of it when it was all said and done and ultimately wound up with a better product. So mistakes are okay as long as you do your best to improve from them. When they're not okay is if you're just continuously making the same mistake and not stopping to ask yourself, what can I do to avoid this or prevent it from happening? So I'm going to need you to take a little bit of responsibility for your situation. And the neat thing about that is realistically, taking responsibility for a situation gives you ownership. You don't want to go through life just feeling like you're a leaf in the wind and you have no control of your outcome. You do. And one of the few things that you can always control is your own actions. And a lot of times if you have some forethought before you take action, you think before you do, you might find that you're making better decisions, and I think that'd work out great for all of us. Please, I understand, again, mistakes can happen, but don't follow up your mistakes with excuses. Excuses, they're basically just lies. And don't lie. We need to have an open, honest relationship here if we're going to get you to your goals. So what do I mean by excuses are lies? Cash, I couldn't make it. It was too early. That's not true. That's really just a lie. I understand what time it is, but, ultimately you could say, look, did I go to bed early enough on time or did I hit my snooze? Can things happen where you actually wind up with a reason? Sure. I get that there's an awful lot of things that are happening in people's households right now, and they may be reasons. But just ask yourself, is it a reason or is it an excuse? And there's some goofy ways to kind of figure it out, but here's something I used to do with kids when it was face-to-face. Say a kid was just like, I can't make it to class. It's too hard. The hallways are packed. I'd say, all right, well, if I had a briefcase with $1,000,000 cash in it sitting on the tabletop, but you had to get here on time, could you have done it? Well, yeah, of course. Oh, all right. So maybe it wasn't so much that you couldn't, it's just that you didn't find a way. we can find a way. And if you feel like you need some help, again, I'm the tool here. Use me, right? It'll all work out together as long as we stick kind of to the path and keep working and marching together. So some other things I want you to think about. As you set your goals for try 3, you got to have a plan. So if I don't have a plan to reach my goals, then basically it's just a wish. I want to be rich. Okay, well, that's great, right? I mean, a lot of people want to be rich. What are you going to do? Do you just stop there? I want to be rich. That's my goal. All right, well, if I don't have a plan about how I'm going to save or invest or plan for my future, it's just a wish. Cash, I have to have an A in this class. Okay, what are we going to do to get there? And this is something where I want you to just give it a little bit of thought. What is it that your goal is? Understand again that it's not going to be judged. And I want you to understand that a lot of times when you set a goal and you realize you have to make changes to your plan, kids view that as a failure. And I would totally disagree with that. And I would say you're on the right track. As you make adjustments to your goal as we go along, there's a real good chance that has to be done. And there's a real good chance that that'll keep you successful. If you just say, okay, here's my goal, and I'm going to check back in June, and I hope everything worked out, you might find that you need to revisit it a little bit more frequently. With all that being said, again, the big takeaway from here is I'd like you to, 1, think about what do you want to get out of this class? And 2, understand I'm here to help you out. I understand I might not be the most approachable guy, but if you find yourself in a rough spot, please reach out and I'll be happy to give you some help. Till we meet again, be safe.